Most football manager saves are rebuilds, but in this one, we're doing the opposite. We are setting out to destroy Man City by ruining their finances and getting them relegated from the Premier League. And we have to do all of this without getting fired. This is Destroying Man City, a football manager anti-save. Welcome to season 4, where we are setting out to destroy the club financially and ruin the squad composition to make this club as bad as possible. And there is one big piece of news here as we enter July of season 4 that is going to help us with that. And that news is Erling Haaland has left the club. He has joined Arsenal on a free transfer. This is a huge player to get rid of for a number of reasons. First, we did it on a free, so we got no money from getting rid of Erling Haaland. But more importantly, he's way too good. I mean, 51 goals in season 1, 26 goals in season 2, and 34 goals in season 3. I am somewhat convinced that Erling Haaland was single-handedly carrying us into the Champions League places. So hopefully now that he's gone, we just won't be as good. At the moment, this is what the overall squad looks like. I mean, we still have some really good players. Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden are phenomenal. We're keeping Phil Foden around on a huge salary, but I don't necessarily mind that because we've given him all these performance clauses. So if he pays well, we're very literally going to pay for it. Bernardo Silva is also really good, but he's 32 years old. He's starting to age out. And otherwise, looking at the team, those world-class players just aren't in the squad anymore. Kevin De Bruyne is 36 years old now. He's still on 450K per week. Jack Grealish is 31 on 475K. Like, a lot of these better players are older. So right now, we're in a good position where it doesn't look like there's a good future in the squad. And looking at the salaries, we're definitely overpaying so many players. I mean, Emil Smith-Rowe is on 875K with performance bonuses up the wazoo. And looking at other players, I mean, we're overpaying for people like Mateo Kovacic, Mateus Nunez, Serge Gnabry, who I forgot that I signed because I never play him. You know, Nathan Ake, Ilkay Gundogan, who is retiring. But I mean, Jared Bowen's on 220K per week. Curtis Jones is on 210K per week. Yuri Tielemans, who I also forgot about, is on 200K. Mikkel Damsgaard, he's 2 stars. He's on 200K per week. I mean, we're paying massive amounts of money to players like Clement Lenglet and Joel Linton, João Pedro, Karu Matoma. We have so many average players who we're giving tons of money to. And the good thing is, we're spending so much money, the club is in massive debt. Financial status in debt, 1.6 billion overall balance. We're way overpaying on our wage budget. If we go back to the staff again, I talked about this last time, but our staff are making £1 million per week, £1 million per week. We have 103 staff members now, and most of them are making at minimum 600 to 700K per week across 104 staff members. So between that and the massive amounts of money we're paying for our squad, we're projected to fail FFP, we're projected to fail Champions League FFP, and we're in huge amounts of debt. What that does mean, though, is that I don't know if I'm going to be able to sign anybody. We don't have any money. If you go back to those finances, we're £4 million over in the payroll, and we have 7K in transfer budget. So if we look at our transfers here, I don't think we're going to be able to sign anyone. We can't even really at this point offer anyone new salaries, and we definitely can't offer new players new salaries. So to be honest, moving into season 4 here, we're in July 2nd, I don't really have a plan for what to do, but I am going to play through preseason and maybe something will dawn on me. I have moved forward just a couple of days from where I saw you previously. On 2 July, we were £1.6 billion in debt. Now we are £836,000 in debt. So where did all this money suddenly come from? Because as you guys can see, our profit for this month is £1.6 billion. Well, the reason for this is because the board has arranged a bank loan to pay off £1.73 billion to help with the club's running costs. We are in so much debt. Looking at the finances, the debt and stuff isn't reflected yet, but if you guys can see down here, bank loan £1.73 billion. We had been getting other bank loans that I had forgotten to talk about actually. But you can see here, bank loan, we got 4.6 million, 4.7 million, but these were all small. We did get a big one, 232 million pounds, 149 million pounds. So we've had some bank loans that have helped with the club running costs, but I have never seen anything like this £1.73 billion bank loan. We will be paying this debt essentially until 2051, according to all of these. But this is an excellent position to be in. We have put the club in a ton of debt. We're in 2.02 pounds of debt that most of it will be paid until 2051. And the thing is now, because we got this bank loan, which we're eventually going to have to pay all this money back, but now overall balance here, if we go back to the finances, overall balance is suddenly a little bit better. So we can just continue to deteriorate this position and continue getting bank loans in because the club's going to have to pay it all back. So if we just keep going on as we are, I think we'll be in a good position. But again, 5th of July, I'm going to play through the rest of preseason and we'll see where we're at. We have now moved forward to September. We are 2 months into the future. We were on July 5th. We are now on September 4th. And we have essentially erased £500 million from the finances. And I have done this by essentially doing nothing. If we go look at the transfer history here, I haven't been able to sign anyone. I mean, it's just been impossible. We've released some players out on a free or on loans, but I haven't been able to sign anybody. So I haven't really done much. The only things I've been able to do at this point are I did give Phil Foden. We saw that he got that contract. So I've decided to lock him and Emil Smith-Rowe in. The other thing is we were able to give Jack Grealish a contract. So now he has all of these clauses as well. So all I've done pretty much in this preseason is lock those 3 players into their positions because at this point, given the club's finances, I think we really need to go for the jugular here and just trying to ruin the financial status of the club. And I think we're in a position to do that with how much debt the club is in. And by locking in these players, hopefully they'll force the club to pay them a lot of money. We, of course, also have our 103 staff members who we're paying loads and loads of money to as well. So they're just eating up a lot of those finances. And in essentially 3 months, we've been able to destroy the balance again. I mean, this is a fantastic position to be in. Looking at our expenditure, I mean, we are just spending loads and loads and loads of money. I mean, this season we spent £500 million alone on staff salaries, £440 million on bonuses already, and £112 million on player salaries. I mean, we are just spending money like it's nobody's business. But the nice thing, though, is it is somebody's business, and it's Manchester City's business, and we are ruining it. But yeah, honestly, I haven't really done a whole lot else. I haven't been able to, because without a transfer budget or an additional wage budget, we can't really do much. But the squad is still old. The young players in the squad are still average. So squad composition is still looking good, even though I haven't been able to do anything to it. Everyone's old or bad. And we've been able to overpay. We're overpaying our staff. We're overpaying players. And we're destroying the finances. So this is the route we're taking. I mean, there's so much debt here. I mean, there's still $1.6 billion in overall debt. That granted is still paid until 2051, but hopefully over the course of the season, we'll continue to accrue that debt. And I will say the other good thing here is that forward thinking from previous seasons, we still have to pay transfer clauses. We're still paying for Jared Bowen. I don't even remember when I signed Jared Bowen, but he's on loan at PSG. I signed Jared Bowen 2 or 3 seasons ago, and we're still paying loads of money for him. Eric da Silva Moreira, I don't even remember him, to be honest. Some young guy who I signed. We're still paying for him. Mikkel Damsgaard, I signed him in like season 1. We're still paying for him. Same thing with Jonathan David. We're still paying for him. Rodrigo De Paul isn't even at the club anymore, and we're still paying, like, we still owe him 5 million and 6 installments of 2.5 million. So we're just Serge Gnabry. He's not even at the club anymore. We're paying him all kinds of. Oh wait, do I have him out on loan? No, sorry, I have him out on loan, but I'll end up releasing him. But we're still paying loads of money for him. Dean Henderson, if he plays any matches, we'll be paying for him. João Pedro, I don't even think he's played for the club, and we're paying loads of money for him. Same thing with Curtis Jones, Clement Lenglet, Ferland Mendy, Lionel Messi, who's retired, we're still paying for, Mitoma, like all of Chris Richards, Antonio Rudiger, Emil Smith Rowe, Yuri Tielemans, every signing we've made just about, we're still paying for them. So this is perfect because even though I couldn't sign any transfers, forward thinking from previously, we're still paying loads of money for these guys who we signed years ago. And now that we're in a terrible transfer position, we can still be wasting transfer budget even though we don't have any. So overall, right now, we are absolutely cooking. But unfortunately, we're also doing really well in the league. This could be down to a really good tactic, admittedly. But we've won every single game so far. So hopefully we won't do actually that well. I don't want us to win anything. But I do want us to keep our job. We'll go back to the club vision real quick. The goal, again, we've gotten the goal down low. We have a C rating right now, which is perfect. We're doing the minimum. Job security is stable, so we're still in with a job. But all we got to do is qualify for the Champions League through the league and just challenge for the FA Cup. They also want us to reach the latter stages of the Champions League, which is just the quarterfinal. That's probably going to be the most difficult one. But we're doing good enough in the league right now. Hopefully we won't win it. But again, as long as we make the Champions League places, maybe even if we finish 5th, that would be ideal for us. But we are in season 4. I'm going to simulate season 4 now. Let's see how we do.
One day later.
I am back earlier than expected because just one day later, the club are close to administration. I have never seen this inbox message before, but from our chairperson, Man City close to administration. The club are in a serious financial state. We are over 400 million pounds in debt and continues to lose money. This is an unsustainable financial position. This right here is the key words. I have never seen this before, but if we can get City into administration, that would be, I mean, if City goes bankrupt, we would pretty much have accomplished our mission. This is absolutely brilliant. But this is the reason I've come back. We still got to simulate the rest of the season, so I'm going to do that now. But we are in a great position. And we are at the conclusion of season 4, where we've actually done pretty well. I'm actually a little concerned with how well we've done. We finished in 2nd place. How good is the tactic that we finished in 2nd place? We should not be this good. Who did well for the team? Going to stats here. Let's look at the overall stats. Who did so well? Looking at goals, Jeremy Doku did really well. I want to note here that if we look at Jeremy Doku's contract details, I was able to give Jeremy Doku a new contract, and we were able to load up the bonuses on him as well. So him getting 19 goals and 8 assists is actually a good thing. But Jonathan David, I didn't expect him to be this good. I don't actually know why. It must just be the tactic, because I actually don't think he's that good. Oscar Bob did good. We might need to get rid of him. Phil Foden did okay. I feel like, Smith Rowe, Foden, and Grealish, who we all locked in, got a lot of goals and assists. So that's good because we had to pay them a lot of money for it. But let's look at our schedule. We had that great start to the season. We continued to have a good start in the Prem, but we lost to AC Milan, lost to Real Madrid. First loss in the league was to Newcastle. But wow, we actually did much better in the Prem than I was expecting. We got knocked out, though, in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal, though. That is good because we got past the 4th round, which means that we had to pay a lot of bonuses. Looking at the FA Cup, we got past the FA Cup 4th round, so same thing. That is also good. We paid a ton of bonuses. Oh, how did we do in the FA Cup? FA Cup quarterfinal, FA Cup semifinal. We won the FA Cup. How did we win the FA Cup? We won it right at the death, too. 86, 90 plus 6, and 90 plus 8. We won a trophy. That's not good. And it looks like winning that trophy. I mean, we're at a B minus. We're actually better than we were last season. We finished second in the league. We won a trophy and got a B minus. There it is. Ah, man, we had been doing so good in the previous seasons at not winning anything. But there we go. But we got knocked out. I forgot to look at the Champions League. We got knocked out of the round of 16 by Real Madrid. We won 3-1 at home, and we lost 9-0 away from home. De Bruyne getting a red card. That okay. I could have gotten fired probably off of that game alone. But that is a destroying Man City kind of result there. That is nice to see. Looking at the financial situation of the club, we are still in debt. We are in huge debt, but it looks like they got a big loan. We had £802 million at some point during the season. So big loan there, but yeah, you guys can see that net debt now is huge. They got a £563 million and a £416 million bank loan after that 1.73 billion one we got before. So huge bank loans coming through just to keep the club afloat. This is exactly what we want to see. And looking at the expenditure this season, sure enough, we're spending ridiculous amounts of money on staff salary, ridiculous amounts on bonuses and player salaries. This is exactly what we were looking for this season. So it ended up being a lot of same this season. And that we didn't really sign any new players, but we were able to spend a lot of money on players like Jeremy Doku, Emil Smith-Rowe, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, and we still have all, our 103 staff members, who, as you guys can see here, are just making absolutely ridiculous amounts of money. So we're definitely doing all the right things so far. And I think if we just carry on the way we're going, we got that message at the beginning of the season that the club was close to administration, but they never actually went into administration. So I think that's the next goal, is to actually get the club into administration. If we can do that, we'll have very literally successfully bankrupted Man City. And that's what we're going to be looking to do in season 5. But that's everything I've got for this season. Definitely successful financially. The club is close to administration. We're getting huge bank loans, which the club are going to have to pay back. So we're doing a good job there. We were unfortunately, we won a trophy this season and we finished second. We did better than we wanted to do there. However, we're on the right track. The club is being destroyed financially. We're in the red. We're close to administration. And it's going to be big things for season 5. At this point, I think we just need to keep on keeping on. We've got the right strategy in place. We're spending so much money on staff and players and bonuses. This is the way to go. We're destroying the club financially, and we just need to continue on this trend. I think season 5, we can definitely get that overall balance to a point where the club is going to go into administration. But that is for next season. I hope that you all have enjoyed this episode as we continue to destroy Man City's infrastructure. And hopefully we'll be able to destroy it in a month. Like, the long-term goal is to eventually get City relegated. The problem is we need to stay in the job, so we need to meet expectations. But in the long term, we're in a good place right now. As the squad continues to deteriorate, we sign more mid players, and the finances continue to go. I think we'll be in a position to destroy Man City soon. But again, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves and doing well. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.